Humanity has been preparing for this evolutionary phase that we are witnessing now for many lifetimes. And it's not an accidental unfoldment of the events that we are participating in. So I really wanted to incarnate because I knew that it's going to be an amazing, profound time for myself and for others. My very first memory of the contact with this planetary field was during the formation of the planet, when it was made of gas. And we seeded consciousness of that later evolved into human multidimensional DNA strengths. I had this remembrance when I was receiving my Reiki initiation at the age of 7 years old. But my trans-channeling gift was activated during tea ceremony, and I started hearing voices. This is okay, do not worry. We are establishing the point of contact in your heart. And this communication completely dissolved my identity in that moment. Absolutely everything about my human character needed to change.
Polina Oversoullight remembers arriving to Earth when it was still just made of gas. She was one of 9 beings, genderless, pregnant with twins, flowing across a forming planet, who seeded the consciousness that would later evolve into human multidimensional DNA. Ultimately, she incarnated as a human in Russia, initiated as a Reiki master at age 7, and awakened as a trance channel during a tea ceremony during COVID. Polina now serves as an Ascension mentor, channeling Sirius B, Arcturian, and Andromedan councils. And through her Soul Code Ascension School, she helps people activate their psychic gifts and come into soul alignment. In this episode, you'll discover how soul agreements are made, what it means to rise in love with yourself, and what the star nations are inviting humanity to remember. I'm your host, David Trotter. Welcome to the Awaken Magazine podcast. Polina, it's great to see you today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure and honor to be having this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm so curious about your perspective and the councils that you channel for. What is going on in our world right now? I am so curious what your perspective is on that.
I personally feel that humanity has been preparing for this evolutionary phase that we are witnessing now for many lifetimes. And it's not an accidental unfoldment of the events that we are participating in. The consciousness that I channel, which is the unified fields of multiple star nations and Oversoullight, is speaking through me. So my perception personally, I don't think how separate it is from the consciousness that I represent. And the perception of planetary shift is that humanity is purging very old densities, very old ancient vibrations from the planetary field itself. And because planetary body is not so much separate from the our body, we are extensions of the same source body. So of course we are experiencing this on a very personal, on very cellular level. And this grand purging is going to continue for some time. I know that there are predictions and messages from different sources that 2025 was the year of snake, and this is it. We should be celebrating 2026. But it's going to be a continuation of inner clearing and clearing of the sacred chambers within our heart. So we are going to be observing even more clarity coming through, even more unplugging from densities that are no longer sustaining and supporting consciousness evolution on this planet. And all of this is in alignment with the divine plan for not only our planet, but for the larger universal orchestration. So I'm very excited and I feel very honored to be leading during this shift, also facilitating and participating in it. And I know that there is a certainty and clarity that lives in my heart when I say this, that very soon humanity will completely change ways we interact with each other. This phase that we all are gradually shifting into, it's called awakening of spiritual integrity on every single level. So I'm very excited to see how it unfolds and how this actually will manifest among our species, our civilization. So that's how I see it.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah. In reading about your story of consciousness and mindfulness, I have seen that you have a conscious remembering of your birth experience, and just even the beginning of connecting with consciousness from the very beginning of life. So usually I ask people about their story of awakening. So I guess I'm asking you about your story of arrival, a birth. So tell me about, like, how did you remember, how did you experience the birth process? Like, I'm so curious about this.
Thank you for asking this question. I love it. My very first memory of the contact with this planetary field was not through this incarnating in this vessel. So I remember first initial contact with this planet was during the formation of the planet when it was made of gas. And myself and to be honest, I don't remember how many other beings. I think there were 8. Maybe I was the ninth one, or maybe I was the 8th one. We arrived to this planet. We had no gender, and we were pregnant with twins. We had this beautiful eyes. We were flowing, and we seeded consciousness of that later evolved into human multidimensional DNA strengths. So that was
Paulina,
the
you are old. I did not realize how old you are. My God, you are old. Wow.
so that was my first memory of encountering this planetary field.
When did you have that memory? Was it as a small child or older? Or help me understand that.
I had this remembrance when I was receiving my Reiki initiation at the age of 7 years old. But when it comes to this current incarnation, I have a very clear memory of having this undeniable excitement that lived within me. It filled me from within. I became this excitement itself while I was envisioning this incarnation, this lifetime. There was so much joy, there was so much creativity. There was just this blissful state of giggle that I cannot describe in any other way. So I really wanted to incarnate because I knew that it's going to be an amazing, profound time for myself and for others. And later, as I was extending my soul from the oversoul field, not me as Polina, of course, but as consciousness, creating the extension or emanation of my soul from the oversoul field, there was a interesting process that I perceive as quite funny about selecting the avatar, how my human vessel will look like, even down to precision such as having curly hair, having long hair. So I selected my avatar because that's apparently the look that my soul enjoys having on planetary field. So it's not the first time that I actually look more or less like this. The next phase was about identifying soul agreements and creating soul agreements. So creating the blueprint for co-creation that I will be having with souls that I would encounter here on Earth. And one of the most profound memories that I have is calling in a soul, not so much calling in a soul, but recognizing that the mutual excitement of a soul that I held and I hold so much love. And we decided that this soul is going to come through my body as my child. And that felt like the most funniest, the most mm, exquisite joke. We just burst with the giggle. So, this is how soul agreements are usually made through mutual recognition of excitement and joy rather than like being contracted to meet and interact. So, in the field of oversoul, it's all about joy and lightness and fun, no seriousness whatsoever.
Hmm.
And when it comes to birthing, when the soul agreements were selected with other souls as well, I felt the orchestration of higher angelic orders creating portals like a tunnel, and I assume that I can say that that's birthing channel. In the higher dimensional fields and in angelic realms, they initiated the vortex of light, then interstellar alliances, galactic federations, galactic consciousness started to add more portals, extending the gateway to this physical reality. And the memory that I have was this beautiful heavenly song and the multitude of voices singing, "We are so happy for you. We are so celebrating you. We are honoring you." So I was accompanied through this symphony of beautiful affirmation that this life, as every other life, is a blessing. We are not being sent here to atone for our mischievous behavior in other realities. Well, that's my perception. And as the extension of this birthing channel was created through the multitude of extended portals and gateways, I was infusing my soul awareness into a master self from which the fetus started to grow. And later, I remember experiencing this reality through my mother's emotional body. And in a way, not navigating her through her reality, but also directing frequency sometimes that would be guiding her and shielding her from making unhealthy choices that would alter my journey here. Not necessarily manipulating her, of course, but guiding her towards the alignment. And when the birthing of my physical body was taking place, I remember how I was supporting my mother through this experience. Usually we perceive that the mother is who's giving birth, right? But it was my own consciousness that was giving birth. And when my mother was having contractions, this orchestration of the symphony in my internal experience was getting louder and louder. So I was encouraged to move as a fetus, as a child, through the birthing channels. And the first moment that I exited my mother's body, I felt this white light that was blinding. It was too bright and it felt almost artificial. Well, I was born in a hospital, and the first inhale felt like this extremely crisp and cold air entering my body and filling me up from the inside. And as my body sensations were activated to this extent, the first telepathic connection to the oversoul field was taking place. I remember exactly what the thought or the verbal articulation of this connection was. I am in. Where are you? And
Say
the
that again. I want to make sure I get that. I am what? I am in?
I am in. Where are you? So where is the extension of my consciousness? Where's the
Where are
unified?
you?
Yes, I am in. Where are you? Like, where is the rest of me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The rest of unity? Where is the rest of the field that I'm just an extension of? And the response was, you're going to experience the vastness of yourself in a singular body, in a singularity of your fractal. And to be honest, I felt not good about it. I felt that that's not what I signed up for,
Bait and
because
switch. They got you in.
exactly, exactly. And later I connected, well, later, it was the second thought, I would say. I connected to another soul that was supposed to come as my guardian. And I was shown an image that this child, this soul that would about to come through the same mother, through my mother, is only going to be experiencing physicality for a certain amount of weeks.
Mhm.
And later, he's not going to be birthed into the physical plane of existence, but he would join my guardian team and my ascension team. He would act as my guardian angel. So we will always remain in direct communication, however, not through physical connection. And later on, my mother did have an abortion, which I found out when I was 7. So this is exactly the time frame that I was shown. So
Mhm.
these were my first experiences of the birth. And of course, I have so many, and I find it fascinating.
Mhm. Yes, of course. When you talk about having these memories, at what point did you like have you always had that? Like if I experience something, I can either always have that because I remember from the very moment it happened, or are you remembering back in time? Like, oh yeah, 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 I forgot about that. Like, how does that work for you?
I would say that remembrance is not a linear experience for me, it's a knowing. So, of course, as I grow and mature as a young woman, as a human, I begin to recall the knowings that have already been within me. Um, I can share about one experience that has definitely shaped me in perceiving the uniqueness of how my consciousness operates. I was 3 years old, and there was some kind of conflict in my family, and I did not enjoy what I was seeing, and I felt that my physical body was limiting me. I did not understand how I want to engage, how come I want to um, participate, but my physical body was like chubby, and I could not really operate it, and I felt very limited in my physical body. So I thought, how on earth is this supposed to function? So I did not like the having experience at the age of 3 physical body. And as the conflict was escalating, there was this strong sense within myself that started to pull my attention from outer experience towards my internal experience. And this presence, this radiant field that was invoked from within, it guided me, guided my awareness towards what I was seeing in front of me, which was my mother and father just arguing, towards a field of communication. And this radiance that was already within me, it started emanate and project itself into the room, into the space. And I saw this beautiful iridescent auric-like colors, like rainbow colors. And I saw a being, she looked like radiance itself, just beautiful feminine silhouette. I perceived her as an angel. She started saying to me, "Dear baby Polina, this is not what you think it is. This is a manifestation of a pattern, of a program that is only to be witnessed by you. It's not changing who you are. It's not impacting your mother, your father. You will always remain the same. You will always be yourself. You will always be purity. Nothing in this earthly experience can alter, adjust you, or shape you in any form, because the truth is you are eternal being of light. This unfoldment that you are witnessing is only creating an impact upon your psyche, upon your emotional body blueprint, because that is what needed for you, for your journey to unfold later." So she started guiding me through this conversation, and she was saying, "I'm with you, I'm within you, we are always one, I love you." I remember that. Later, years later, I was 27. I decided that I need to write down the memory, which is the memory of my soul creation, and infusing myself into this reality, because I thought someone will probably need to hear that. These stories are not for myself only. And I started writing like a diary. And then I started describing exact events that I remember. And when I moved to describing this event, I started writing down the words, "Baby dear Polina, this is not what it looks like." And the instant recognition of this reality activated within myself. I realized that I was the highest self. I was the future version. I was that angel that my baby self was perceiving as, this radiant, beautiful silhouette of the divine feminine essence that was speaking to my child. So I would say that I have moments like that when I remember something from my childhood and I realize that that was a higher dimensional version of me, or the future version of myself that was connecting to. So the remembrance in my experience also happens through this pathway.
So you mentioned that at 7 years old, you got your Reiki certification. Is that correct? Okay, so most kids at 7 are not, getting Reiki certified. Was this something that was supported by your parents, or and I'm hearing about these experiences. Did you talk to your parents about these? What's going on in your family life that's like supporting all of this?
I was born in a family where spirituality was not even considered. There were no conversation about spirit realms and energies, nothing at all. However, my mother always saw that I was somehow different from what she expected me to be. My ability to witness reality as multidimensional construct was noticed by her. I was trying to articulate it the best I could, but it was only invoking fear in my mother because she did not know how to support me. So in a way, she was just loving me and holding me within the field of love. My auntie, she was a spiritual seeker. She knew that there was a world beyond the veil. However, she had no skills and no pathways how to connect to it. So she was the one in our family who was representing this way show for me. I followed her footsteps. She was receiving Reiki initiation, and during her initiation, her um, facilitator said that there is a child in your family that needs to be receiving this. So my auntie brought me to the Reiki master, and I received my master, the third step initiation, when I was 7. And from that, my journey unfolded as that was the path that was selected for me. I never seeked it. It's just something that I was guided to, and it was natural. So yes,
Amazing.
at the age,
Yeah, yeah, amazing. You're like walking around on the playground, be healed, like you're healing kids and stuff. I love it. Yeah, that's cool. I'm so curious about your, for lack of a better word, career path, because obviously now you are serving humanity through these incredible gifts that you have. Did you start from the very beginning of kind of your career path doing this, or did that come along later for you?
At the age of 8, I was traveling through Japan giving healings with my Reiki master to Japanese people, to local people, mainly specializing on dealing with migraines. That's what I remember. Later on, I was curious about metaphysics and I was curious about the way human psyche works. So I would dedicated time towards discovering that, and that was the choice of my career. I moved to New Zealand. I was born in Russia. I moved to New Zealand when I was 15. And at the age of 16, I started noticing that I'm being prepared for a life that I cannot imagine. I had no understanding what would unfold for me, but I sensed that I would not be choosing the conventional pathway as a life. To be honest, it was scaring me. It was I did not want to live a life that I was seeing around me. It did not feel natural to me. So I knew that my journey would be extraordinary, not because I demanded it or I insisted it this way. It was a knowing. And I became a mother very early. I gave birth to my son at the age of 18, and I immersed into motherhood and was dedicating myself fully towards being with my child and meanwhile working as a private psychic. Um, People and clients were always finding me through the word of mouth, even when I would be traveling to Europe just to be visiting, for example, art galleries, and somehow people would be finding me and inviting me to expand their awareness. That was always a mystery to me. I never understood how that could work as a young child, well, teenager, and I never felt that I was special or significant in what I do. But it was always the pathway that I walked, and it just started to increase and accelerate as I was accepting more of who I am.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. I am curious about this journey of channeling. I love talking to channels because that has become a passion and of interest to me. Ironically, I don't even listen to channels. Like, some people are obsessed with channels. They just listen, 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 listen. But I love talking to channels because I'm so curious about the beginning stages and the process. So at what point, you were probably like 3 when you started channeling? I don't know. Um, you're like, yep, I was. When did you recognize that there were entities, friends that were wanting to communicate through you? At what point did that begin for you?
So, natural style of communication with the unseen world, or I call it my oversoul field, was from birth. So I never learned how to channel in that way. But my trans-channeling gift was activated during COVID time. I don't remember exactly the year. I think it was 2019, 2012, 2020. So the second year of the COVID. I remember attending a tea ceremony. I really enjoy Dao tea ceremonies, Chinese tea ceremonies. So I was attending one of those. It was a birthday of my friend. I never seeked trans channeling. I never seeked the connection with aliens. I actually never seeked anything at all in my life. Um, and during this tea ceremony, I started understanding and sensing that somehow I cannot access the reality that I was present with. I was surrounded by a close circle of friends, so there were no someone that would, scare me and make me go in a trance. But I started hearing the sounds as they were distant from me. Imagine yourself being sitting on an office chair with, like with the wheels, and somebody pulls you out of this experience. So the reality that you perceive, it's kind of like distancing away from you. So I had this experience that all the sounds and people around me, somehow I was pulled out of this reality. And I was at the beginning resisting. I was trying to get my hands up and try to touch shoulder of a person next to me, but my hands would be dropping down. Then I would
This is a
try to,
physical experience? A
it
physical
was,
experience? Yeah.
yes, it was a
Mhm,
very physical experience because
mhm,
I was afraid. There
mhm.
was fear. I did not know. It was the first time I had this. I never even assumed that things like that could be experienced by me. I was trying to stare in the eyes of a tea master, trying to, show that, look at me, and my eyes were closing down. So I lost connection to my physical body, and my awareness dropped into my heart, and it felt like my rib cage almost like cracked open. Of course, not the physical body, but it felt like the cage that was around my heart was finally released. And I was drawn into the space within my central chamber of the heart. And I started hearing voices. I started hearing, this is okay, do not worry, this is natural. We are establishing the point of contact in your heart. Then I started hearing and sensing my beloved grandmother who passed away many years ago and my grandfather. So they stepped into the field and they started reassuring me, saying, we are so proud of you. We are so happy that you are experiencing this. You are ready. So even now I have goosebumps as I talk about it. So they were giving me reassurance that I am to relax. I need to relax. I need to surrender. And the voices that later on introduced themselves. They were councils of light from Sirius B, seven-dimensional beings. They were saying that I've been initiated into having my trance channel open for many, many, many lifetimes here on Earth. So this is nothing new. It's just activating of my physical body to step into this mission because I'm ready. And they were guiding me through this experience. So this, as the conversation was going deeper, I would just allow the process to take place. They mentioned specifically, the less you resist, the more effortless this experience would be for you.
Mm.
And this communication completely dissolved my identity in that moment. So I started no longer perceiving myself as Polina, hearing voices and having this experience, but I allowed it to merge with it. Later on, I figured out that I basically just passed out. My friends thought that I no, fell asleep like that on a chair and they left me in the room. So when I woke up, it was already dark. I was alone in the room, almost sleeping, and I started walking down the stairs to see my friends, to see, the space where I was. I could not see anything with my physical eyes. All I was seeing is emanations of light body of people. And through all of this multitude of different light bodies, I saw specifically my friend who I came with. We lived together at that time in Bali. I could recognize her signature frequency and coding around her
Mhm.
emanation. So that's how I realized that she was. And as soon as I found her, somehow I walked to her. My feet started going soft and I fell down. And I started crying. And the crying was not because of the pain, it was because of the reconnection that took place with me. And after that, I could not walk for some time. It was just, I could not use my feet. My physical body was going through the process of rewiring. My central nervous system, I literally needed to learn how to use my body again in this instance. So it was not something that I seeked, but it's something that my body, my soul initiated my awareness into.
Mhm. And so after that experience, and I mean, I would have probably gotten a little upset with my friends if they just left me behind in this dark room, like,
I
but
did.
yeah, what the heck, guys? Come on. But you're having this profound experience. How has that continued to unfold over, I guess, the last several years, where you recognize who is speaking, through you, to you, and through you, and how have you cultivated that? I guess I would say.
So after that initial connection point, I was guided to I was guided to discern how I live, no longer be accessible for everything and everyone. So the guidance that I followed was to move into a house and dedicate my time and my full presence towards learning my own blueprint, studying it, by assisted by Sirius B councils of light, and they mentored me how to navigate quantum field. I was speaking to them. It was internal communication that was happening within me. And as they were teaching me, as they were guiding me into this remembrance, then Arcturian Council came into my field and Andromedan. So it's not something that I need to really discern, it's a knowing. It's like I recognize my mother, I recognize my father. This is how I recognize them because I am extension of that field and they are extension of my oversoul field. So my initial connection was not established with a star nation. It was manifested later on, but initial connection was with the soul oversoul field. And for 2 years, I was basically having a very, very simple life. I did not socialize because absolutely everything about my human character needed to change. I was no longer available for settling for illusion and for convincing myself that a lie is truth and it's okay, I can work around it. So I had to up level standard for integrity of my field. And 2 years it took for me to purge out densities of my own. I could not go back to New Zealand because that was happening during COVID time, and my son was in New Zealand with his father, so I did not see my child. And of course, it was very hard for me. I was experiencing suffering. And Councils of Light, they shared with me that I was not allowed to go back until I clear my field. And otherwise, if I go now, my child would be directing his electromagnetic field towards helping me. And that's the process that he needs to experience for himself. He's not to help me, he's not to support me. I have to do this by myself. And the
Mhm.
biggest lesson that I needed to learn was the lesson of unconditional love. It's easy to speak about unconditional love, or it's easy to speak about anything when it has nothing to do with your lived practical reality, right? So the lesson that was for me is that I needed to let go of attachment to my child and only allow unconditional love to be as the bond. So I think that was my biggest initiation mm, into integrating value system of my soul and value system of my spirit rather than operating on the human-made order.
Mhm.
They also were adjusting the way I perceive reality. So they were rewriting the way I perceive time and removing any concepts of linearity when it comes to co-creation with energy, with frequencies, and consciousness itself. So, for example, they were removing my memory, and I could not access memory of anything that I had happening to me, I would say, when I was 20, 25. It's like those memories were gone. And the funniest part that memories on my phone like Google Photos, they were also erased. I could not access the files as they never existed. So I needed to let go of attachment to the memory of who I was before. So my identity is always rooted in the now moment and not anchored into as a reference point into any assumption that I've created about myself or around the world in the past. And once I somehow managed to integrate that, I don't know how, it just happened naturally, the memory came back and the memory on my phone came back. So it's just synchronistic and mystical, and my life is full of that. And after this 2 years, people once again started inviting me to give sessions. I was not opening up myself as a trans channel. I did never position myself as anything. They were friends who started receiving sessions from me, and through the word of mouth, somehow this expanded into what I do now.
And when you say what you do now as an ascension mentor, how would you describe that? Somebody says, "Paulina, what do you do? How can you help me?" Like, how would you describe this to the average person?
Being an ascension mentor is not an identity or even a role. It's a function that I represent. So, of myself, I barely do anything like as an identity. So, when it comes to mentoring people, I don't provide teachings, I facilitate transmissions. And the difference between teachings and transmissions is that transmission activates knowing of the soul. It activates the remembrance within our multidimensional DNA that later starts to communicate to human awareness. So, this recognition of all knowing, infinite knowing that we all have access, we are extension of it. It comes from within. And teaching is adding new information and concept. So in my work, I implement both. However, focusing mainly on transmissions. I facilitate one-on-one sessions. I facilitate mentorship programs, and I do have an Ascension school. So during working with me, my clients and people, they remember who they are and they remember how to communicate with their soul consciousness. I facilitate protocols. I guide them through quantum activations, um, clearing out, for example, non-organic, false light-based technologies, negative alien implants. So my work is not fluffy, spiritual, and etheric according to New Age spirituality. It's very, very grounded. So even though I work with cosmic consciousness, the function of my body, the body and the function of my work, is all comes down to simplicity and simplifying the nature of consciousness, removing false concepts that always feel complicated and very, very special, and actually returning to being a good human and learning how to function as a divine being, as an integrated soul self in the human reality. And there are many pathways how I do that, and trans-channeling is just one of them.
Of course. What is the implication, the benefit, the outcome of someone who develops an awareness of multidimensionality, an awareness of their consciousness? Like, how does that ultimately impact their relationships, their finances, their hopes, their dreams, their path in life? What's the benefit to them? I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, it's clarity and simplicity. When you are no longer a seeker, but you are a being. You are no longer becoming, you are being yourself. So clarity when it comes to your purpose or your life mission or the inspiration. Clarity when it comes to what is truly vibrating in alignment with your authentic frequency, because first of all, you know it. If a person does not know who she is or he is, if a person does not know the signature frequency or intelligence that they carry within their light body, if they're not familiar with who they are, how can they identify another being or energy? How can they discern it for what it is, rather than projecting their own unprocessed and deeply suppressed patterns within the subconscious mind? So I would say clarity is one of the biggest takeaway of working with
Mhm.
consciousness, galactic consciousness, consciousness of higher refined fields through my channel. And also when it comes to activating psychic abilities, this is also facilitated. I activate confidence in people to follow their own authentic path. And in terms of mission, business, relationships, when we are mentored, when we embody our own spirit, when we are mentored by our own soul, human value is being changed and rewritten according to the value of spirit. So integrity is what shines through the eyes of people, and our physical body and our light body becomes the sanctuary that people feel safe to open up. So we become vessels of light, and it's not through talking or having smiles on social media. It's actually being the embodiment of that. And in practical ways, we begin to perceive what actually truly matters for our spirit and following that path. So clarity and knowing how to walk your path, knowing what skills, what quantum technologies, what gifts are encoded within your own light body, and activating it and applying it. So we no longer function as seekers. We no longer function as confused beings, trying to remember kindness, trying to remember love, trying to remember connection to God, but we function as an extension of that. So people who are drawn to work with me, it's all sorts of people, all kinds of people, but mainly after engaging with my field, they follow their purpose, they follow their mission, and they feel very fulfilled and happy. And connection with star nations and angelic realms and so many more forms of consciousness is a natural byproduct of that.
Hmm. Amazing. Your name, Polina Oversoullight, I assume your parents' last name is not Oversoullight. Uh, I'm curious about Oversoullight. What does that mean to you? Why did you choose that as an extension of who you are and what you're doing?
Thank you for this question. I've never was asked this. I don't like having a concept of having a fixed certain framework that I apply my consciousness as an identity. So of course I am who I am, right? But when it comes to stepping into my divine service, I allow source to move through me. I allow the field that I come from, field that I actually am, to do the work through the vessel named Polina, through this body, through this beautiful body. And the consciousness of Oversoullight has no definition that we can apply. It's the intelligence, it's the frequency, it's the consciousness of light itself. And I choose to live this life in alignment with what is true for me. And I also invite others to be a lot more kind, compassionate, and soft when it comes to perceiving self as anything. So I choose not to have definitions when it comes to my identity. So that's why I position myself as an Oversoullight. I was guided to implement this name before I even knew this word. I heard this when I was a child, somewhere, I don't know, when I was probably somewhere around 3 or 4, 5 years old. There was a word, Oversoullight. I had no clue what it was. English is not even my first language, but it was given to me as a guiding star in English. So I applied it.
I love that. Beautiful. I want to talk a little bit more specifically about what you offer. I know you offer one-on-one sessions. You do have, as you mentioned, the Soul Code Ascension School. And so tell people a little bit about these opportunities, because you talked about, okay, there's a difference between teaching and transmission. And I'm just curious, like, okay, if I book a one-on-one session, what am I going to experience? What is the Soul Code Ascension School all about? Who would benefit from that? Talk to us more about those things.
So trance channeling session is when I shift my awareness to my oversoul field. You're no longer interacting with identity. There is no longer ego filter that you are speaking through, or I speaking through the soul field speaks through. My brainwave connect to gamma state, so I allow consciousness of source, consciousness of oversoul to move through my vessel, to move through my body. I do not vacate my body. I remain present. I just allow more of my consciousness to be infused into this physical vessel. And when it comes to galactic representatives, those beings who are assigned to mentor this particular human being they are coming through, or if they are specifically requested. That's the beauty of working with Oversoullight, because you're not limited to one star nation or another. And most of the time, to be honest, it's Sirius B, Andromeda, Arcturus, Pleiadian star nations that come through. Lyrans come through, but mainly I would say Sirius B, Andromeda, and Arcturus. So during these sessions, I am in a trance state. If it is a one-on-one session, I don't need to be engaged or aware of absolutely everything that the person in front of me is experiencing. So I choose not to participate. My experience of it is I only observe the geometry of sacred codes, so I'm in a way staying informed of what's happening. If it is a group transmission and I'm supposed to be included in it, there is a benefit for me to hear a message, then partially my awareness stays and I receive the transmission, including. The benefit of having trance channeling sessions is that you are interacting with consciousness of all that there is. Consciousness of love or star nations, they see us through and through. They are aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our challenges, our fears, our galactic history, the history of creation of our soul, infinity of blueprints. So you are interacting with the intelligence that is so much more loving that we can assume. So during these sessions, client can request specific clearing, for example, energetic cords, or remove negative alien implant, remove crucifixion implant, and so many other potent and quite heavy things. So I work with all sorts of densities. Or request energy system realignment. Even if the person is not fully aware of what he or she wants, there is already a message that is prepared for this person to receive. And the councils of light, they always share that we share with you what you need to receive, not necessarily what you want to hear, because they're not interested in entertaining our ego. They're always giving us what we need. So we are moving towards alignment, complete alignment with our mission, with our purpose, with what we are to do, which is embody our authentic self and express our gifts. So there is always a already prepared message. I have no idea what it usually is. So the message comes through. Then there is energetic realignment if it is to take place. And then there is a space for Q&A when the person can interact with councils of light or unified fields as they would be interacting with me or friend. Ask any type of question, whatever they need, whatever they request, and whatever they require for them to be delivered to them. So it is a highly interactive field, and it covers all aspects of life, relationship, career, success, health. They can look into the molecular structure of your subatomic body and tell you what is off on a frequency level, including they can give you a list of supplements that you need to take, rituals, whatever is needed. So it's truly phenomenal, and it's very diverse experience. When
Amazing.
it comes to Soul Code Ascension School, it's a 10 months online program. It's focused on activating multidimensional DNA strands within our system and also educating our human awareness into connection with spirit. So we are working with heart consciousness activation and working with specifically activating virtues of our multidimensional heart to allow connection with high dimensional streams of consciousness to later take place. The next phase is we are going into connection to galactic consciousness and also learning the history of creation of our galaxy, our planet, the multidimensional spiritual anatomy of our soul. We are looking at dimensional matrix and channeling protocols, for example, how to scan in which dimensional field or plane of reality or even location in the universal consciousness this specific energetic agreement was formed. So it's not just to satisfy curiosity, it also has an intention to provide the multitude, the vastness of who we truly are. The next chapter is we are learning about ancient civilization and their civilizations and their connection to our chakra system, their connection to our DNA. So it's not just about learning, it's also remembering what type of consciousness is encoded within our universal um, computer, within our physical and our light bodies. And then we are working with consciousness of planet. We are learning about harmonic dynamics and how Earth is moving into Tara, Tara is moving into Gaia, and Gaia is moving into 12 dimensional expression. So, by that phase, the remembrance is already activated. And the program overall gives a very intricate representation of interconnectedness, how all forms of life are interconnected. There is an explanation, not channeled by me, but remembered through every single person, why we are here, why we are having these challenges, why we are having these specific gifts because we know how to apply them. We know the divine blueprint, we know the divine plan rather than seeking what's there for me, for human identity. So, this is the program. I personally find it's truly fascinating. I enjoy delivering it, and every time I engage with this consciousness, I'm just mind blowing with how intricate consciousness is and how much we are able to change in such a short period of time. Accelerated evolution of consciousness is beautiful. So that's not all I offer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is a good taste. That is just mind blowing. How you are sharing all of this content. One of the things that I mean, I feel awkward even asking the question. It's not a question. I think it's just an observation. Is my guess is you're probably in your early 30s. Is that correct? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm too.
yeah, 32. Yeah, and most I think it's because you began this process from birth. Most people who are teaching these things and are experiencing these things are in their more of their 50s or 60s, later in life. And so I find it fascinating because I personally want to amplify the voices of younger leaders. And so that's why I'm one of the reasons why I'm so excited to connect with you because I want to reach younger people on our planet who are in their 20s and 30s with these messages. So I think it's so exciting to be able to have this conversation with you. One of the things that we talked about prior to recording is that you would be open to channeling for us today and bringing a message. So would you be still available to do that?
Of course, I would love to do that. Absolutely.
What do we need to do?
Relax. Relax and experience. Do you specifically wish to request a certain star nation to come through, or are you open for receiving a message?
We are non-Star Nation specific here at Awaken Magazine. We are open to all. We do not have any bias toward any Star Nation.
Beautiful. There is a beautiful braiding of Andromedan and Sirius B frequencies. So I would like to channel Sirius B consciousness. Beautiful. So I'm inviting you to close your eyes and to connect to sensations of your breath. Experience how it is moving through your system. As you connect, I'm inviting you to sense your physical body naturally shifting into a state of receptivity, connecting to stillness within, Meanwhile, allow your mental field to soften. Allow any contractions in your physical body to be dissolved. I'm inviting you to give yourself a full permission to relax in this moment now. Your permission acts as an instruction to your own electromagnetic field, and your cells begin to act upon this instruction. Please take a deep inhale. And as you are exhaling, relax even deeper. I'm inviting you to direct the focus of your awareness to your heart chakra. As you shift your awareness to your heart, please have an experience of this connection. Observe sensations that are moving through your physical vessel as you simply shift your awareness to your heart. I'm inviting you to take a deep inhale once again. And as you are exhaling, direct the focus of your awareness deeper into your heart chakra, moving beyond the surface level into the multidimensional architecture of your heart consciousness. As you breathe, as you allow, as you surrender and relax, the process of opening up your heart consciousness begins. You may visualize the front vortex of your heart chakra is now beginning to move clockwise. And you may sense and feel or simply remain relaxed as the back vortex of your heart chakra is activated and begins to spin counterclockwise. Take a deep inhale and please shift the focus of your awareness to the central part of your heart to observe internal stillness. And now I'm inviting you to witness simultaneously the crystal within your heart chakra emanating a column of light directed both ways, upwards and downwards. I'm inviting you to see the rainbow bridge between your heart and your throat chakra stabilizing, and the bridge between your heart and your solar plexus stabilizing too. Please take a deep inhale, and as you are exhaling, allow activation of your vertical channel of light to take place. Observe the rainbow bridge extending from your throat chakra to your third eye, from your third eye to your crown, from your crown to your soul star. Observe the pillar of light activating rainbow bridge of light from your solar plexus to your sacral, to your root, and to your earth star chakras. Please take a deep inhale. And as you are exhaling, direct the focus of your awareness back into your heart. Now I'm inviting you to sense, witness, perceive in whatever way your system is directing you to a golden ray of light moving down from inner chamber within great central sun, ray of golden light travels down through universal portal, galactical portal, portal of your highest self, your soul self, connecting to your soul star field, moving down, descending from your soul star field, entering the vortex of light, your crown chakra, moving down to your third eye. From your third eye, connecting to your heart. As connection to the heart takes place, the crystal within the central chamber of your heart begins to emanate radiance towards all directions simultaneously. Please take a deep inhale, and as you are exhaling, exhale through your mouth, blow air outwards, and sense and feel how your own radiance is now beginning to shine through, come through into your physical field, setting up the space for this upcoming transmission to take place. I'm inviting you to witness your own frequency, recoding the patterns, recoding field around you. Allow the expansion of this field to take place. Allow your radiance to move beyond the space where you are, beyond houses, beyond streets, beyond countries, continents, enveloping planet itself within your beautiful heart. Observing golden liquid light from your heart, moving down through your vertical column of light to your solar plexus, sacral root, to your earth star chakra. And from this moment, I am inviting you to state to yourself, I am love, I am sovereign, I am free. Relax and witness this golden ray of light descending down, traveling through morphogenetic field of planetary consciousness, connecting to the fifth dimensional expression of our planetary field, moving down through electromagnetic fields, crystalline fields, connecting to the heart and core of beautiful planet, connecting to the liquid plasmic light within planetary heart. And from this moment, I'm inviting you to sense your connection to our beautiful planet. Begin to feel and receive blessings, unconditional love, support, guidance directly from planetary field into your heart. Allow these light codes to travel through your chakra system. Remind your body that it is safe to co-create with planetary consciousness as your true expression. Allow planetary love to activate sense of ease and peace within you. And from this moment, I'm inviting you to simply relax and receive this transmission as I prepare the space, stabilizing the vortex of light between my location and your location, and multitude of locations of the audience who would be receiving this message in alternative time and space continuum. I'm going to be trans-channeling 7th dimensional High Council of Light from Sirius B. Here we are, beautiful ones. We are so honored to be co-creating with you in this extent, beautiful ones. We are the High Council of Light from Sirius B. We are speaking with you, sharing our frequency with yours, transmitting this intelligence from the 7-dimensional field of our unified field. We are not speaking to you as one individual identity. We are sharing as one voice, as the intelligence of our collective. We are not so much different from you. We are interacting with you to assist you in remembering your true essence and the intelligence of this essence. So you're no longer perceiving yourself as separate forms of universal mind, universal consciousness. The reason why many of you are so much confused in how to direct yourself through changes that you observe in the world is rooted within a certain level of forgetfulness, confusion that is mimicked outwards, the confusion of how to connect to your higher dimensional intelligence. Your human bodies have been prepared for the last 7 to 9 years for this experience to unfold. Your cellular structure have been going through the process of initiation. How to tap into high dimensional streams of consciousness, how to operate on more refined frequencies of light, frequencies of your divine intelligence. This is why for the last years of your experience, you have been noticing how your physical body adapts, changes to energetic shifts around you. Not many of you are familiar with the concept of multidimensionality to the extent that within next years you will be guided to remember. This process is not a prediction. This is simply stating what has already been become within your collective civilization. We are inviting you to no longer perceive yourself as beings who are lost and confused, as your perception truly matters, beloved ones. You are being invited to realign your pathways of communication, to guide them back to the fields that you come from. Your communication styles, not only verbal communication, but the way you interact with each other, is to be taken through the process of accelerated evolution and expansion. You are seeking peace and harmony. It is found within and then amplified from within. Your physical vessels are able to transmute data for the planetary field from the timelines before this planetary consciousness has even been created. It is important for you, beautiful ones, to remember the interconnectedness with all that there is, with nature, with mineral plant kingdoms. To open up your heart wider, to no longer perceive yourself as ones who have to take the place in the orchestration of divine unfoldment that you are facilitating. 2. Your place is blessed. Your role is sacred. Each one of you has individual blueprints, has signature frequencies encoded and emanated outwards. So you can follow the guidance of your joy, to explore, to experience what is available for you, no longer focusing on the final outcome, because time is not so much linear in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensional planes that you are shifting into. We are inviting you to enjoy the process more, to no longer seek definitions rooted in fear, rooted in consciousness of separation. We are inviting you to open up your awareness, your hearts, and connect your mental fields to the higher mind of your soul, of your higher self, to perceive that your reality is redefined by nature, that you are not to control, you are to synchronize with, to witness how life itself of divine source field creator creation is unfolding and moving through you, guiding orchestration of all events. We are not inviting you to be passive participants. We are inviting you to let go of self-criticism, placing unbearable burdens of control and shaping yourself into what you believe, what you think you are to be. Your perception matters, beautiful ones. Your perception sets the trajectory for your spiritual evolution, for your spiritual refinement and mastery. You are being invited, beautiful ones, to step into your spiritual maturity and no longer seek definitions rooted in fear. Allow yourself to receive newness from within. Sukmi aishkiatu sutai puku ayaniana putu shiata satiana putu samai etikia tukumaya satiana shiarta wutuna. We know you enjoy rutumaya satana yetishtiarta wutusa huwa wutiama, hearing multitude of dialects of light languages putu satiana wutuna shkotsutai aimu hutuna, that you are hearing, perceiving. We want to explain what hutuma we are sharing with you that bypasses your rational conditional minds. Hutuma is satyana through the movement of hands of this vessel that we speak through. Hutuna Polina, hutuma shtiara satyana. We are anchoring frequencies of homeostasis, hutuna, into your fields. Shiatai satyana, awakening. Hama hutuna satyana ti ashtiaranda kiata tumai satyana. Shkutusartiana, protocols and programs and hutunatian organic to your system. Shkaisaratiana utunayatiana utuma urtunaishtiaratai iasate dynamics, hutunayatin and intelligence within your cellular structure to recognize what is your soul frequency and what is not. So discerning truth for illusion is easier for you. You are being invited to no longer settle for confusion. You are invited to remember consciousness of love that you are, no longer seeking complications, but allowing simplicity to remind you the intelligence that is within you, guiding you, supporting you, assisting you in remembering, assisting you in stepping into your power. We are never sharing with you what you are not ready to receive. We are assisting you to remain in alignment, to shift into alignment. We are sharing with you how to be empowered, how to be sovereign, and how to operate from your spiritual authority, from your spiritual maturity and mastery. You are available for that. We are inviting you to not confuse yourself for beings who you are not. You are so much more than you assume. Allow your assumptions to evolve. Allow your higher sensory perceptors, perceivers within your body to be activated and awakened through your own frequency. The intention for this message is to invite you to discern in your immediate reality what is based on denial, suppression, and conflict. What desires are truly yours. What desires are truly supporting you in becoming who you truly are, already are. You just don't know it yet. And what desires are based on references points that you are attempting to rewrite because contraction of energy flows was taking place. Some of your desires, your attempts to rebel against your past. We are inviting you to discern what frequencies, forms of intelligence you consciously co-create with, so you can adjust your aligned actions to truly match the vision of your heart. Very simple, very clear, isn't it? Do you have any questions for us?
Thank you so much for your messages. If someone is in their own journey of cultivating their own clairs, psychic abilities, channeling, what encouragement would you give them if they're listening today?
We hear you. We are inviting to focus on alignment with soul blueprint, not only limiting yourself with creating a definition focused on activating specific channeling abilities. When you begin to co-create with intelligence of your higher self consciously, allow all fibers of light to be fully connected to your higher consciousness. Your natural styles of communication come through, including channeling, conscious channeling, trance channeling. Your psychic abilities naturally are awakened. It's not so much a manual process that you need to follow. Of course, you can do so, but it will take a different amount of time as you are choosing the slower pathway, the pathway that invites you to co-create with honor, co-create with integrity, co-create with consciousness of love within your system, to witness parts of you that forgot the honor of spirit. So in a way, such manual approach is also possible. It is available. It's not the only one. It requires more focused attention towards what can take place and is taking place naturally and effortlessly received by you when you choose to soften, when you choose to no longer remain in contraction, when you choose to no longer be afraid of embodying your divinity, the multitude of who you are. Your physical vessels would never collapse when they embody more of your radiance, more of high dimensional fields within your cellular structure. The practical pathway that we wish to share with you is, first of all, discerning what is false and what is true for you. Changing the ways you operate in your human, in your physical reality daily. You cannot create a separation between higher realms and lower realms. You are designed, you are envisioned, you are coded, your physical bodies are coded to unify and launch the process of unification between higher and lower centers, not only within your bodies, but also within the planetary body. So creating separation between your physical reality, what you call your real life, and the world of spirit, realms of spirit, is an illusion. You cannot hide within realms of spirituality, realms of spirit and higher dimensions, because you are not enjoying what you are experiencing in your physical reality, as one is always a manifestation of another. So you may choose to work with quantum technologies, navigating quantum field with precision and uploading specific frequencies and energetic patterns into your field to activate, as you call, your psychic abilities. Or you may choose to align with integrity of your soul, readjusting how you communicate with yourself, first of all, because how your human awareness is perceiving connection and consciousness of your soul, that is how you are experiencing connection and communication with the world outside of yourself, or the world of matter, as you call it. We are inviting you to prioritize precision, clarity, and pristineness of your fields. You are so accustomed to being available for everything and anyone, seeking connection, seeking for love. We are inviting you to no longer be afraid that you are loveless. That is an illusion. We are inviting you to take time to identify your own uniqueness, to rise in love, allow your awareness to rise in love. Not fall in love, but rise in love with your own kindness, with your own spirit, with your own vibration. That sets the foundation for the journey ahead. And then invite others who are matching resonance of your frequency to participate in your journey, allowing access more consciously to those fields, to those beings who are vibrating at the same rate as you do. We are not inviting you to separate yourself from others. We are inviting you to become a lot more loving, compassionate towards self so you can extend the same qualities and virtues of your heart towards others. Let us know if this makes sense.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And from that, discerning, identifying, locating truth and illusion would be easy, would be natural, and your psychic abilities would be coming online so much more faster, naturally, with no effort taken. Are you available for opening up yourself for this spectrum of timelines where you are no longer in resistance, where you are no longer in denial, where you are no longer in conflict with yourself and consciousness of all that there is?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for these messages. Yeah, thank you. Can I ask you one more question?
Of course, you can ask as many questions if you feel we are here for you, we are here with you.
Yeah, just for the sake of time, I'd love to ask one more question, and that is, what do you enjoy or love about working with Polina?
We hear you. We are not working with her. We are an expression of the same field of love that she is. She is an extension of us as much as we are an extension of her. We are an extension of the one field that birthed all lives. We enjoy guiding this beautiful soul towards alignment as much as we enjoy doing the same with all of you. Our love is unconditional, and it is applied and available, directed towards all of you. We love this beautiful vessel that we speak through because she is an emanation of the brilliance that we all celebrate collectively. Her courage, her excitement, and her innocence, and her stubbornness, her sense of humor, her ability to evolve, change, fast, adapt, evolve in an accelerated way. As all of you, as all of us, we are an extension of one unified field. So are you. So is she. And you will remember once you accept your gift of remembrance. This is what this planetary field has invited you to assist, embodying the remembrance of the future timelines of the realms you never left, so you can upload and channel frequencies that have never been stabilized on this planetary field before. So in that sense, they're new. But your infinite knowing, your infinite remembrance of who you are serves as the medium for anchoring brilliance, purity, higher dimensional energetic structures based on coherence, synchronicity, alignment, integrity, honoring law of co-creations with all that there is, knowing that all that you create is not just for you, it's for all. Inviting others to enjoy your creations, as you enjoy creating them. We have enjoyed communication with you. We have enjoyed co-creating with you, beautiful David. It is always a greatest honor for us to be interacting with your soul frequency. We live now, extending our love to you. May this love remind you of who you are. May this love guide you into softening, relaxing, so you can experience blissful states as you live, love, and learn. Until the next time we speak again, we live now. Namaste. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. How was your experience?
It was wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, being that channel for us. Yeah, it was beautiful. Amazing. How was that experience for you?
I always enjoy these states. I feel unconditional love. I feel this sense of home and just very, very good feeling. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to transitional.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Well, I would love to hear where people can connect with you, to book a session with you, or learn more about the Soul Code Ascension School. What would be the best place for them to connect online and follow you on social media?
Well, the best way and the most simple way is through my website, oversoullight.org. And I do have social media, Facebook and Instagram. So connect through whatever platform that resonates with you and feels aligned.
Wonderful. Polina, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your amazing life story. And thank you for all the wonderful things that you're doing in the world. Thank you for channeling for us. It's been great to be with you.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it and it's my pleasure. Thank you.